Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Okay. Minus 14.1. Now that's more normal for this time of year. Yesterday's warm weather was unseasonable, you might say. And the roads were messy. I forgot to mention that yesterday. But, well, that's the way it goes. Yeah, my poor clean car is not clean anymore. Do you know, I have not washed my car since my wife's funeral. And that has to be, 6 years ago? That's the last time I washed it. I found that the type of paint that's on that car, if it rains, it's clean. Yeah. So anyway, maybe it's time to wash it, right? Anyway, what are we going to do here today? All right, we are still in step 64. 64 deals with this side right here, the starboard side. And it wants us to put the anchor in place, okay? It wants us to stick the diving planes on. It wants us to put these in. Now I'm going to have to take out a little bit of time and paint where the alligator clip. You can see it there. Okay, so we're going to have to do that. I'll just quickly do that off camera and get it done. I'll put them in front of a little electric heater, and that way they'll dry up quickly. And when we flip the page to 64, there's a lot of stuff that's the same, but we'll be dealing on this side. You know, it's scary. We are getting so close to being done here. It's going to be really interesting for me anyway, to see how well are all the modules going to fit into place. I mean, that's what makes this sub, the modules. Not the shell is actually quite plain. There's nothing really about a submarine on the outside that is what you might call interesting, except for the shape of the thing. You know, it's not like the Enterprise over there. It's going to be just, loaded with stuff. It'll be interesting to see what Nigel's boats are going to be like. If you remember, Nigel Frampton said he sent some 1/200 scale ships boats that would be appropriate for the Enterprise. So it'll be interesting to see how they compare to the ones that come with the kit. However, we'll stick the macro lens on and have a nice close look at them. If Nigel's listening right now, he's thinking, no, don't use the macro lens, please. Okay, well, let's continue on here. Let's see if we can get through step 64, but before I do, I'm going to, like I say, I'm just going to quickly paint these, and you know what? I've also got to paint the diving planes. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint them the 66? So they'll match the diving planes that are on the stern. Even though I should have actually used the 337, but it's very, very close. I don't think anybody's going to notice, being as that all of those are on a clear part. They're not up against something that's painted, so. And once again with this, I don't think I'm going to paint anything here. I think we're just going to leave it clear and put it on and see as much of the inside as we possibly can, especially being as we have the LED lighting. Now it could be that after I get it on, I'm going to see that, oh my goodness, it's revealing something that just doesn't look right. But we'll see what happens. Okay, let's get at her here today. it looks like we might have a nice sunrise again. Yesterday's sunrise was kind of nice, wasn't it? It just happened to be coming up while I was talking, so that's why I showed it. There's nothing special about it. It's not like the walkers appeared or something. Wouldn't that have been nice? But the sun isn't due to come up for. Hey Google, when is the sun supposed to come up in Winnipeg today?
Here is information from time and date.
Oh, usually she tells me the time, but she just gives me some information here. Sunrise day, 8:06 this morning. She made me read. Oh. Usually she tells me. Okay, I guess I didn't word it quite right. I gave more information than she needed. So she gave me back more information than I needed. Okay. Enough. Oh, in step 64 here, it's talking about cut and remove. And cut and remove. And I am not seeing those. I'm wondering, I don't remember cutting those off, but I may have. Because they're not there. Okay. Yeah, some sort of little tabs. I can see where they were, that they were there. But I guess I must have cut them off. And one thing I should mention is that now this is the fifth build, and sometimes I will think I had done something on a build, and then I will realize it was on a build prior. They sort of all start to blend together. Especially, being as we're doing battleships, I think once we get onto the Enterprise, it'll be a little, because it's sort of different. Actually, it's a lot different. Okay, and enough chatter here. Let's get ourselves going and repaint these things. Okay, there are probably going to be people that are listening to me right now that are going to be a little bit on the upset side. And here's why. When I was painting this stuff up here, I was thinking how much I was really enjoying it, how relaxing it is. And I know that I've talked about this several times over the last 6 years. I wonder if a person could build a big kit like this and just strictly use just the paintbrush. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do this because I changed my mind a lot. But right now my thinking is, I'm going to see if I can do the entire Enterprise with a paintbrush. Like I know that large areas like the hull and stuff like that, it's much faster to use the airbrush. But I used to have a 1-inch wide, I guess that'd be like 30 millimeter wide, camel hair brush that I bought from a hobby store here in Winnipeg about 40 years ago or more. And I used that brush for years. I used to use it a lot when I would paint woodworking with varathane if I wanted a very, very smooth job. And I think one day I forgot to clean it out, and I think it used varathane or something like that. And that was the end of it. But you can get wider brushes. I don't know if I get a 1-inch. Like this one here is the widest brush I've got, and I think it must be about I'm guessing 5 millimeters wide. So I could get a wider one that would cover the area quickly. As long I wouldn't want it so wide it wouldn't fit into the jar. But that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking I'm going to maybe just stick my paint booth under the table and yeah, just brush everything. Why not? I can't be the only person out there that makes one of these big models that doesn't have an airbrush. Not everybody has an airbrush. I will readily admit, though, that the airbrush does do a much nicer job. But as I indicated, I think it was yesterday or the day before, you waste a lot of paint. A lot of paint ends up in the filter. So I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. And it could be that if a person was to use the, where is it? I think it's behind my surveillance monitor. The Mr. Color Leveling Fluid, whatever, 500 or what, I forget now. And if you're not spraying that stuff, you're brushing it. You're not going to get the smell so bad in the house. I'm just sort of thinking out loud here, and I'm not saying that that's what I'm going to do, but I think right now that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the entire Enterprise with a paintbrush. That's the plan. And like I say, there's probably people going to be mad at me, especially if you're die-hard airbrush people. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's get the submarine finished first here. Good morning, Missy.
Morning, Ron.
Good morning, Max. A little cooler this morning.
A little cooler, yep.
Okay, we are ready for you. Yes, we are. But you're going to have to wait until I sit down. Okay, I'm sat down. So I hear your car is running out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna head down to the gym afterwards. I'll spend 5 or 10 minutes on the e-cardio.
That sounds like fun. If you like doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to go to the Y, and I used to run 2 miles every day. Well, not every day, but probably 6 days a week. And I did that for many, many years. It used to take me 16 minutes to run 2 miles. Just a slow. It was more of a jog than a run.
Oh, I was a chief flying instructor in Kingston. I used to get up and go to Queen's University and run 6 miles on the indoor track, and then go out and open up the hangar doors and start waking up the aircraft. You know?
Yeah, 6 miles. I don't know, Max. I ran 5 miles a couple of times, nonstop, but I never ran 6.
Oh, I think I got down into anorexia, runner's anorexia. Geez, I got down to around 120 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I hadn't been 120 pounds since I was 8 years old.
That's what I was thinking. Look at that, hopping up just to say hello. Oh, Uncle Ron, you're the best. Wag, wag, wag.
Thanks for coming again, Missy.
See money? Thanks, Ron.
Okay, we'll see ya. got ourselves a nice bright sunny day again. But cool. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. Now, I was setting up here to put the anchor in place. I do believe we can do that right now. And it's going to be going somewhere in there, in here. I can sort of see where there's a little hole right there, and I'm assuming that this is supposed to stick in it, like this. And we're going to try and use as little glue as possible so that it's not going to fog the clear plastic. We'll recompose. Okay. I realized afterwards that I positioned this wrong in the anchor well or hose pipe or whatever you call this. It was supposed to go like that. Now I think if I can just put a little bit of glue, yeah, I want to glue this part here to that hole. And I don't want it to be running around all over the place. I think maybe the Tamiya thick might do it. At least it wouldn't wick out onto the plastic. Maybe if I was to just put some on the end of it there, just enough to... Yeah, that might work. Okay, so while I was thinking about the fact that I was going to, try and apply a little glue right there, I thought, being as if this shaft goes down so far into the plastic, how would it be if I glued it from the other side? But then I knew that when I turned this over, the anchor would fall out. So then I thought, well, why don't I take a rubber band here? Just sort of hold it in place with a rubber band. Then when we turn it over, we should be able to get at the other side. Okay, this is the weld bond. It should dry clear. Okay, I'm guessing about 10 minutes or so has passed here now, and that weld bond is already starting to clear. So I think we're probably safe to remove our rubber band here. Still want to be careful not to catch it on anything. Okay, when the two halves, the port side and the starboard side, are put together, they're supposed to have a diving plane on each side, obviously. And the idea is that this arm, see, I haven't tried to fit it together since I painted this. There we go. Okay, it's supposed to join them together. Now that's going to be a bit of an interesting fit when it actually comes to doing it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave one loose. Probably we'll get this one affixed pretty so it's not going to fall out. Let's put it that way. And then when it comes to getting matching this up with the other half, then I can sort of work it around. At least that's what I'm thinking. We'll have to do here. And I believe it's this one here is supposed to go in. Now we got a really tight fit there. I don't know if it's because I painted this shaft or if it's because the hole isn't drilled out all the way. So what I'm just wondering I should do maybe is just sort of ream this out just a little bit here. Okay, it could be that there was some plastic stuck in there. No, still doesn't want to go. Okay, I'm just going to work away at it until I can get this to, fit in there nicely. I don't want to force it in and scrape the paint off of the shaft. Okay, now at least it's not going to completely fall out of there. It's a fairly loose fit. It'll give me a little bit of wiggle room for when it comes to matching this hole up with the other shaft on the other side. Okay, now it seems to me that I had said we were going to do a box opening today, so I got a coffee visitor coming pretty soon, so if we're going to do that, we better we better get at it. Okay, I have been over the box very carefully, and I am not seeing anywhere on it where there were creases to indicate that it had been crushed. There are no puncture marks anywhere on it. However, it is not sealed either. Now, this is not the first one of these big kits from Trumpeter that I've got that was not sealed. I think basically only one of them was sealed. I can't remember which one. It might have been the hood, but I'm not sure. Okay, now this is the first time I'm opening it, so you're seeing it along with me for the first time. Alrighty, what do we got? Well, we've got a manual. This all looks alright. Something else. Oh my, there's a tremendous amount of decals. We'll open those up and look at them later. Let's just leave them in the. I believe this whole sheet is decals. Probably something that has to go on the deck. Okay. Oh, painting and marking guide. Now we're not going to bother with this, are we? Oh yeah, we'll probably look at it. But I think I'm going to stick to the Tamiya XF paints, regardless of what Trumpeter might say. Okay, let's just put this off over here carefully now. Alrighty, what do we got here? Ah, the hull. They were able to do it all in one piece. This looks okay. Looks like there's going to be a lot less sanding to do on some of these than some of the others I've had. Yeah, they got it all molded in one piece. Doesn't have what you would call a bulbous bow. That's probably why they were able to do it in one piece. I wonder if that's to scale or not. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't particularly care. I just was wondering. Okay, so we know that's all right. One, two, three, and 4. This is probably the decks. The deck is probably in 2 pieces. Let's get these smaller boxes out onto the table and sort of recompose a little bit. Now, I don't want to be spending a lot of time doing this today. We'll do an actual sprue check later. We will open these boxes though and just take a quick look, see if we notice any damage that's apparent. There's quite a bit of stuff in here. Probably explains why it was so heavy. Alright, we'll leave everything in the packages so far. A lot of decking. This is going to be an interesting kit. This is obviously part of the main deck. You can sort of see some sort of planking going on here. Okay, I'm just going to get this back in the box and then we'll recompose. Now, I've complained about this before. I don't know if you call it a complaint or not, but I find that these boxes that come in these large trumpeter kits are incredibly hard to open. And I think what I'm going to try and do here is maybe see if I can't just slit it here and reseal it later. Or that's not working, so let's just do it the I know this is not the way we're supposed to do it. Maybe if I just do one end. Okay, that should work. Okay, we'll fix that lid later. Okay, what do we got going on here? All right. This is bulkheads for the side. That all looks good. I just want to generally check and see how the sprues look. We'll take a close look later. Got a nameplate here. I haven't used the nameplates on any of the others. I'm not seeing where there could possibly be any damage, at least not in shipping. Everything looks good. Let's not pack it too tight now. And we'll fix that box later. I'll just re-tape it shut and I'll tape it loose. Yeah. Who says it has to be so terribly tight? Alright, let's try. Maybe we can get this one open. This one's sort of coming. No use cutting it if we don't have to, right? Oh my, lots of little pieces. Oh, lots of little pieces. We'll look at them closely when we do a sprue check. I may decide that it'll be best to have a separate standalone video, but for the sprue check. But okay, that's good. And the last one.
Sorry, trumpeter. There's only so much I can stand. Alrighty, what do we got going here? You know, I'm not checking carefully. Oh, photo etch. Oh, joy. Photo etch. Wonder what that wire's for. It's obviously not LED wire, but it's some kind of brass wire. I'm sure one of you viewers will fill me in on that. And we got what? How many sheets of photo etch? Well, let's just check here. Anyway, so we got our wire. Got a little one here, one on the back, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's not too bad. We'll get through it. Yeah, we'll get through it. Okay. Oh, being very careful here. Put this back. Very gently. I'll repackage this properly later. Oh yeah, I can see what Nigel was talking about, that the boats are... Oh, maybe not. Yeah, they won't have the detail on them, I'm sure, that Nigel's will, but it'll be interesting to see how they compare. Okay. Now, I got a coffee visitor coming at 3:30, and we got, what do we got here? It's 1:46 already. I got to do a lot of editing. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.